Okay, so today I traded two tickers, SCKT and ZDGE. So just those two. They're the big pre-market runners. I traded very sloppy with SCKT, in out, in out, in out, in out, in out, in out, which wasn't ideal. Basic, yeah, and not a lot of convictions there. It was my final trade on SCKT that brought me grains. Yeah, make my account went from like, let's see, what was it? Went from like $89 red to like $4 green to like pretty much break even. Um, one trade makes it all, but still sloppy trading today, very undisciplined. Yeah, and I spent most of my buying power on those sloppy trade in SCKT. And remember, my account is a cash account, so whatever amounts that I use, I'm not getting back until like 2 days later. So yeah, sloppy. And the last trade on SCKT was good because I stick with my plan of buying the higher low on an ABCD setup. So it went low, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, entering the higher low, risking the previous low, and then aiming for like the breakout. However, my trade on ZDGE was okay, but still need more improvements because I was buying mostly the lower low, even though it's only 2 trades on it. It was the low, and I went with 30 shares each. The better plan is to actually have a smaller share size if I'm gonna do that, because it's not the ideal setup that I'm trying to get. I'm trying to make it mine, really. Yeah, like right now, the setup that I'm really focusing on is ABCD, but I need to be patient to let the ABC come to me and then enter, risking the B. I need to be patient. And yeah, what I should have done is let's see. No, it's not a $10 loss. It was like $11 loss. But yeah, here's my screen. See here? Sloppy. What is when I bought it, it was already up way too high. That was the key thing. It was already up way too high. See here? I saw like move from here and here all the way up there. Thinking that's gonna go higher, I bought it. Didn't wait for the trend to break out. It was trading sideways, even though it's making an uptrend. It was trading sideways. Higher lows, it was trading sideways, which wasn't good. And I step out on this one. And then I entered at 66, risking 58. Yeah, risking 58. What happened? I got chopped, and then I re-enter because we're basing here. Didn't have like a very clear risk to reward, and I basically just took my profits. And then more trades on like the lower side. Should recognize that the overall macro is downtrending. And yeah, I basically enter on lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. And what happened? I keep getting chopped here. So this was sloppy. In, out, in, out, in, out, without any clear plan. And then after this, I got enough of SCK, and then I saw ZDGE coming up. 8, no, ZDGE. It has a very, very nice move pre-market. I underestimated this guy. When I first saw it, it was around here. It was ideal. Higher lows, right? And then again, higher lows. I underestimated this one because when I saw it, my whole attention was on SCKT. And then when I really went to buy it, I bought on the backside. Should not have traded this one. Why? You look at the 5-minute chart, all green without any pullback. And then if you look at the 1-minute chart, again, all green without any significant pullback. So it's basically a chase. And I took a loss on it, like right here. I entered to 295. My risk was 87. Should have done it out right away. Why? Because it was a downtrend. It wasn't a break of the uptrend. It was a downtrend. Recognizing that it was a downtrend, should just gone out and cut my losses. And another, I should have just having a smaller share size instead of having the same share size all over. So it did eventually move to 310, but still, that's just like 50 cents a share. And I will be risking 10 cents a share. So that's 1.5 risk reward, which wasn't good. The ideal is at least a 2 to 1, no, a 1 to 2 risk reward to and above 1 to 3. That's the ideal. And even though it went to 310, I wouldn't expect this move right here. See, it did a quick drop. And then still, I'd get chopped again. It eventually move to 320 in the open, which will satisfy like a 1 to 2 risk reward. Still, I would get chopped. And I got chopped here. If I actually went with a smaller share size, I'd probably be risking VWAP. Right? The thing was, at this point, I didn't recognize that VWAP was under. So I got chopped. It went higher, and I missed it. And then at the open, it's basically just straight down. And when I enter here, I once again needed a should have entered with smaller share size. Once you're here, my risk was 65, 10 cents a share. That was my risk. The quick flush happened to 57, waited for a bit to move back up. I got out 61. It did eventually move to like a 75 break even, but still, it was a mess. The same pattern happened. It went and make a little curve, dip, make a little curve, dip, make a little curve, dip. Yeah. A better entry would be down here, right here, the higher low. Risking, let's see how many cents? 3 cents. Less volumes, less choppy actions. But it did went to 70, so yeah. That's like 10 times your risk. So even though it's choppy. Basically, yeah. On ZDGE, I basically just went on the higher lows. Not higher lows, lower lows. Yeah, low lows instead of waiting for the higher lows to come. And be patient. That's what I need. Patience on my entry. And then after that frustrated trade for a while, I stopped for a while and then waited for like 8:45 Central Standard Time to come. And then once again, I went back to SCKT. This time recognizing that this is the higher low. So, and it's a break of the downtrend, right? So here, 332. That was the low. The new low was 335. When I traded 52, my risk was 35. I wasn't going to like a risk 52. That's 20 cents a share, $6. It's fine. The thing was, my reward or my target was the break of VWAP to 380. It did a quick spike. I sold half of my position at 79. It took a while to fill because it kept it hit 380, 379, and then it dropped to like 377, 378, 377. It did that for like um did you a couple times, and then it hit my target at 379, saying that it could go higher, and it did. It went to the 80s, and then it chopped down around there for like a few seconds, and then it did a quick move break of $4. So when I sold half of my position here, the next goal was a break of $4. It did, and I just let it went. And when it hit like the 410s, 420s, that's when I'm making preparations to sell all of my shares. And so I did, and I sold at 38. The stock did eventually move to like 50s, but you can see how hard to flush. Uh, the 50 was a key level resistance. For 90 was another key level resistance from 5 years ago. So yeah, it's an earning winner today from yesterday, which it has like a earning coming up from yesterday night, and it spike after markets pre-market it also spike. So yeah, in this trade I was a bit more convicted because it was a higher low and it was a setup that I want to be better in, be better with. And when they actually started making this parabolic move, I started drawing the trend line, right? So first it was these two, and then the next trend that I drew was these two. It was getting more and more parabolic. So that means that a quick flush is coming. And next, the quick flush did. Even though it never actually went to my risk afterward and didn't move back up, have some nice area to add because there are a bunch of ABCDs right here. So the new low was 46, and then a higher low, 54. You could like maybe bought it like in the 60s and 20, 60 to 70 or 50 to 60 on the break of the downtrend, on the start of the uptrend. And it has this pattern going up and then quick flush and then another ABCD. The low was 64, a higher low, 70. So adding within the 70 area of VWAP, it basically traded around VWAP. And it did the same move again, but this time it's a lower low. So started drawing the trend lines, it making a pennant, higher low, lower low. At this point, I was just watching the price actions. It was a pretty large panic, and then eventually it actually cracked the support here, the uptrend, and that's when I know that the downtrend is coming, the big backside. Because when it crack a uptrend, no, because when it crack the support become resistance, and this is what happened. VWAP and the trend line here become resistance. It hit up, and then it basically moved lower, lower. It eventually cracked the resistance, but you can see how quick the flush is. It went from 447 to 34 change. So that's like a 90 cents a share loss in 1 minute without any halt. And afterward, it basically just went down all day. So this whole move made back all my losses pre-markets and all my losses in the morning and made me gain $4. The thing is, I need to wait for these kind of move. The uh the ABCD setup. I need to wait for those kind of moves if I want to get better in them. And not get exhausted with trading in, out, in, out, in, out. Because if I get to these kind of move, I'll be more convicted, which means less exhaustions. If it hit my risk, I get out. If it hit my target, I get out. That's how it should be. Instead of basically going in and out. This is a small account. So I'm able to go any size I want and get out easily. It's a small account, right? Not a big account where you actually buy thousands of shares and scale in and scale out. So yeah, it's a small account in comparison to like the overall markets. It's a very, very small account. And my size are very small too. So yeah, need to wait for these for the ABCD to come up. So overall, it was a sloppy trading day. And yeah, just sloppy. A trade that did get my attention in the afternoon was this one. It was a Friday squeeze. It was downtrending from the last couple of days. So as you can see here, it was downtrending. And then it did a very nice red green squeeze to the afternoon. Very, very nice. It never did get back up, and it basically just saw off um, in the closing, into closing. It sell off into closing, but it did present some very nice buying opportunity here. Uh, the minute chart. Yeah. See here? Higher lows. Once again, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. It's basically an uptrend. But yeah, it's basically an uptrend. Thank you for the break of this guy. 370. It did eventually. But what was what caught my attentions was that when it get to a certain point, it did a quick flush right here. Because this stock was not trading on news. People were taking profits here and here, and eventually it basically just making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So it's a quick trade with the mindset of taking profits. Yeah, it has some nice buying opportunities, but had to be quick about it because it has such quick flush. This is morning sells. not morning sales, panic sellings as well as profit taking. So it was looking like a pump and dump, essentially intraday pump and dump, because somebody needed the trades needed a stock to go high so they could basically sell all the shares. Again, need to wait for the ABCD setup to come, and preferably if it's after 8:45 a.m. Central Standard Time. Why? Because because the open is they're essentially the open could be essentially choppy or um, move up and then just constantly up, or move down and constantly down. But one thing for sure that they all share in common, they're very, very volatile. Volatility. Yes, try to profit off of volatility, but it's the open. I'm new to trading. I'm only in if I'm only in this for like 8 months, 8 to 9 months, right? And I'm not ready for that. My account's not ready for that. It will destroy my account if I don't stay disciplined. The key is capital reservation. No, capital preservation. Yeah, capital preservations to constantly learn this skills. So yeah, it did have some nice buying opportunities here though. Higher lows, and then when it cracked this, lost interest because voila, the big flush. So that'll be all. It's a green day, but it's a terrible trading undisciplined pre-markets. Yeah, undisciplined. That'll be all.